It's 1T too.
So,
Matt with 1T.
Oh.
For the record.
How are you?
Good.
What do you think about playing basketball in the smaller cities like Whyalla?
Yeah, I like it. I enjoy coming out to the country regions. It gives the opportunity for a local association to see, the elite level basketball, and it gives us a chance to give back to the people that support basketball around the country.
How do you think the Hawks went at the Top End Challenge?
Yeah, look, it was good. Obviously, we won the challenge up there, and it's still pre-season. We've got a long way to go as far as what we need to do as a team, and a lot of the other teams, are just getting all their imports and their team together as well. So but it's an indication of where we're at the moment. But we obviously know we've got a long way to go yet.
Was there a standout player for the Hawks at the Top End Challenge?
Oh, look, Cam Trigar. He had a really good pre-season in the ABA where he did well, but not only that, I think the new offense really suits the way he plays with the game, and he was awesome for us, as well as our new import Ty. I think he came into it, gave us a bit of freshness, and I'm looking forward to see what he does. And I also thought Glenn Saville was his usual self. So.
Mid last season, the Hawks were no longer an NBL team. What did you do to get community support and help bring them back?
About halfway through the year, the ownership group that we had decided they weren't going to go ahead, and there was no new consortiums to pick it up. And it was pretty much the last 3 games. I decided with a couple other people that we should make a run at getting our club back in. And the last game of the season that we had at home against Adelaide was 5,700 people packed into our stadium, which was pretty awesome, and proved that the people of Wollongong and Illawarra really wanted a basketball team still around. And I just announced at the end of dinner that we'd have a go, and we should see if we can generate some funds and generate some interest. And we launched a website, and from that website we had like 1,400 people pledged for season tickets, and so it was a lot of interest. So that sort of pushed with our sponsors, then jumped on board, and from there it just steamrolled, and here we are now.
Was that big crowd at the game really what made you think, all right, I have to do this?
Yeah, look, I sat down before that game and said, like, if we don't get a big crowd for this last game, then I wouldn't have done it. If it had only been 4,000 people, I would have thought, it's not really worth it. But to see 5,700 people there was pretty awesome. And we weren't going that well that season either. So there was a lot of people that didn't have to turn up on that game, and it was really the turning point then, and that's when I decided that we should go with it.
You've now been labelled the saviour. How does that feel?
That's pretty much from the guys on the team. So look, I cop a flogging from them. It's the usual sort of team antics. They give me a hiding on that. But no, look, there was, it's the community of the Illawarra that saved us. I was the face of the whole thing, but without their support, we wouldn't have gone anywhere. So, I owe a lot to the people of the Illawarra, and also some people behind the scenes that weren't mentioned.
In your NBL career, who's been the hardest person for you to guard?
Look, probably Brett Maher. Funny enough, I've always taken pride in my defensive ability, and night in, night out, I normally get the hardest player to guard, and normally throughout my career I've at least shut down all the guys at some stage, and probably only Brett Maher is the only one that I haven't completely felt like I've done a great job on. So he's just so crafty, a great athlete, and a real stalwart of the league.
When you retire from basketball, what do you want to do?
Interesting question. I'm into property development at the moment. I really enjoy that side of doing something different outside of basketball, but I'm also keen on making sure that I leave the game of basketball in a better way than when I first started. And obviously with the NBL that's hard. Back when I first started, '96, the league was pretty much on a high horse, and everything was going fairly rosy. And I look around now, that's starting to get back on track, but it's more about for the kids for me. I just want to make sure that they've got opportunities to develop into the best player they can be.
In a movie about your life, what actor would play you?
Jeez, I don't know if there's one ugly enough to play me, but I don't know. Probably someone a bit like probably Russell Crowe or something. Hard-working, not rounded around the edges kind of person. I think would probably would suit my kind of role, I suppose.
Without cheating, can you actually spell Wollongong?
Yes, I can. Wollongong.
I was going to say, if you couldn't do that, that'd be a bit embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
Which Simpsons character is most like you?
Oh, jeez. Depends on what part of the night you see me on. That's a hard question. I have a little bit of the Bart Simpson in me. I'm a little bit of a smart aleck at some stage, but I try to be controlled. So probably Bart, I suppose.
Who's the worst player to sit next to on a plane trip?
On our squad, oh, geez, probably Larry Davison. He's behind, doesn't smell the best, and he often lets it loose. So.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? I'm not 100% sure. That's another good question. I guess now having a family, my biggest fear is not being able to probably provide for them, or if something happened to them. So that's my biggest fear.
Thanks and all the best for the rest of the season.
No problem. Thanks for having me.